We pride ourselves on the high moral standards of our program.
And now,
I mean that sincerely.
Broadcasting live from Seattle.
We don't resort to sex or crime or violence or drinking.
Quiet! I can't hear myself lie!
It's the Dan Rosenberg Show.
See, I forgot to take that off. See, I start off with that and I screwed up right off the bat. Isn't that amazing? Let's act like that didn't happen. Where is that thing? Oh, there it is. Oh, there it's gone. Oh, good morning. What the heck is happening? It's Saturday, October 22nd. It's 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, and it'll be 11 and 12 in the middle. So Raffi is unavailable to come into the show today. He's got some stuff he's doing. He's working on a major project and was not able to be here. So I'm like, well, you know what? Let's just do this old show that I did. I don't know. When did I do this? I did this for a little while during the pandemic. And prior to that, I did this back in 2010. So this is a little different. Let's pop that out. There we go. We don't need the whole background because there is no background. So what we'll do today is we'll just kind of talk about anything, everything, whatever. We don't have to talk about, I don't know. The first thing, Clutch Radio will be back. It's not going anywhere. It's just, it was easier to do this than to try to do a Clutch Radio without Raffi, because Clutch Radio without Raffi is just not Clutch Radio. I mean, he came up with the name Clutch Radio. That was his name. So we have to keep that. But if you want to comment, if you want to be on the show with me, first, if you want to comment, just put things in the comment. And, just like we always do with all these shows that we've done. But if you actually want to be on the show, I've set this up, drlaugh.net. So if you've ever watched any of the movie shows where we have a bunch of people on, and if you're one of those people, jump on in. Again, like I always say, this could be the shortest show ever, or this could be the longest show ever. It will go as long or as short as you guys decide it should do, which I think it's going to be a short show. But if you go to drlaugh.net, you can come up as a guest. We can talk about absolutely anything. One of the things I've always wanted to talk about, and there's no platform for this, because the movie show we do on Mondays, the Air Dan Film Festival, that show we talk about movies. and then TV shows sometimes. And then the car show, we talk about cars typically. Sometimes we get a little political. We're talking about, gas and solar and EV and stuff. But overall, we talk just about cars. On this show, we can talk about absolutely anything. And you guys can tell me what you want to talk about. Or there's something that's always bothered me. And that is, I feel like every day is a holiday now. And I don't know if it's just an internet fad. I don't know if it's a Facebook thing, but it seems like, it's International Thumbs Day, or it's International Pinky Ring Day. Why am I doing hands? It's International Hat Day, whatever. Well, today I looked up, there's actually a bunch of them for today, but today is actually International Caps Lock. Oh, I did that wrong. Hold on. International Caps Locks Day. So for people that love to scream in their emails and texts, today is your day. I don't know who decides these days. I don't know how it happens, but apparently there's a list. You can just Google what holiday is today, and there's tons of them. Another one I saw is Make a Dog's Day. Not Make a Dog Day. Make a Dog's Day. So give a dog a treat. Take a dog for a walk. Isn't that every day? I mean, how do you make a dog's day different than every other day? I have no idea. So if you know of a holiday you would like to propose, put it in the comments. Or if you have a holiday that you think is absolutely ridiculous, I think some holidays were just created by greeting card companies, if I'm not mistaken, like a lot of them. Mother's Day, Father's Day. But I think like Siblings Day, In-laws Day, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend's pet day. I think they make these up. I think it's all a ruse. Is a ruse the right word for that? But yeah, if you just Google what holiday is today, you will get national days today. Today's it's National Nut Day, in case you were wondering. Janice says maybe people trying to feel good about something in this dismal world. You know what, Janice? That's very possible. But then just make every day your own holiday. You don't need some internet website to tell you what day it is, do you? Yeah, maybe you do. Here, I'll pull this video up, or not this video, this page. So this is the website, nationaltoday.com. So let's see, we've got National Nut Day. Whether you crack them, peel them, or buy them, this is your day for nutty fun. It's International Caps Lock Day, like I said. So it's not national, that's international. So that covers more than one country. That's like worldwide. This is a good one, though. International Stammering Awareness Day. See, some of them are good. But I think, I don't need, come on, you don't need that. International, they're going to do that twice. Make a Difference Day. Oh, okay, that's a good day. This is ridiculous. National Anna Day. Or is it Anna? When it's two N's or one N, is that Anna or Anna? Let me know. But to be named Anna is to be associated with grace, class, beauty, and intelligence. And today is your day. That's exciting. National Color Day. National Diego Day. Oh, so Anna and Diego, if you're dating, then you guys have an amazing day. I wonder if there's anybody named Anna and Diego who are getting married today, October 22nd. That would be an awesome one. National Christopher Kaji Roebuck Day. I don't know who Chris Roebuck is. Maybe I should. Here's National Make a Dog's Day. Scar Appreciation Day. Appreciate those scars. Speaking of that, I don't want to get a conspiracy theory. I have a scar like right here that I don't remember ever getting. And then I've met people that have that same scar in the same place. I think we were abducted by an alien space vessel at some point. Is that possible? Hey, I have a scary topic I've been hearing about. All right, type it in. Let's talk about that scary topic as we continue with our national day. Maybe it's National Scary Topic Day. I don't know. Here's an influencer. Here's a rapper. 21 Savage's birthday is today. Smart is Cool Day. See? It's cool to be smart. Baby CEO's birthday. Carrie Hope Fletcher's birthday. Oh, it's Christopher Lloyd's birthday. Well, that's exciting. Yesterday was Back to the Future Day. Yesterday was the day Marty went to. Oh, it's Back to the Future 2 Day. And Back to the Future 2, Marty McFly went to October 21st, 2015. I posted this on Facebook. That was 7 years ago. The future of Back to the Future 2 is now 7 years in the past. Oh, Curly Howard. That's kind of interesting that Curly and Christopher Lloyd both have the same birthday. And they're both very famous for being very funny. Because if you think about Christopher Lloyd, not only Doc Brown, Jim Ignatowski from Taxi. Deepak Chopra. Okay, he's got a birthday. Frank Litz. Gloria Carter-Spann. Jeff Goldblum. Oh, yes. Now it's shaping up. Now we've got excitement. We've got Jeff Goldblum's birthday. Shaggy's birthday. And Sniper Wolf's birthday. A multi-talented gamer and DIY specialist. Oh, so that's what's happening today on the 22nd of October. And you can celebrate however you want. I'm not sure how you're going to celebrate, but you can do it. Scars are memories of doing, not watching others. I got it. Yes, Eric. Great Scott. It is his birthday, and they do have the same haircut. The comments come in a little after I say it to myself, so I can't. Yeah. Some people are saying there's going to be a civil war. I don't want to go political, but I will talk about this real quick. There can't be a civil war in this country. It can't happen because there are really no red states and blue states. People think there are, but Dallas, let's take Texas for an example. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, all the big cities in Texas almost historically vote blue. So you've got blue areas within a state. So I think it's fear mongering. That's what I think it is, Janice. And that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I think that if people want to go out and say, oh, it's going to be a civil war and, we got to get our country back. That's the one I never understood. Get our country back from who? If you're saying if you're on the side that says you want to have a civil war to get your country back, they used to say it when we had a black president, and we all knew what that meant. We knew what they were saying, racists. You're basically saying you want to have, you want to kill other Americans. So that's treason. This is why the Confederate flag is not in favor anymore. People used to, honor it and put it on the back of their car and the top of their car on TV shows from the 70s and 80s. They lost. They went against America. The people that are going to jail for the January 6th insurrection, they're going to jail because they basically committed a sedition and treason against the United States. Not necessarily treason, because you can be put to death for that. But you can't go against your own country. I mean, if you do that, you know who has all the nukes and who has all the weapons, but we're not going to nuke ourselves. So that's I can't see how it can happen. And I'm by the way, today is the scare the bejesus out of Janice Day. I don't know if you knew that. I forgot to mention that, Janice. That's also one of the days. But you don't need any bejesus in you. Don't have any bejesus. You can have Jesus. Don't have any bejesus or bejesus or however they pronounce that wherever anybody here is listening. But yeah, it is scary. But we don't want to talk politics. It's not necessarily politics. I mean, that's the way things are going. But LOL. It is National Dogs Day. And really, this show is anytime I've done any of these shows where I'm just on by, like when I did Dead Air Live in New Orleans, it was just zero preparation. I actually did some preparation today. I mean, I even did the joke where I did lowercase and uppercase. I pre-did that. That was done yesterday. But every show I've ever done, I learned it from reading the biography of Larry King. Larry King tried to do as little show prep as possible for all of his shows, because he was on overnights when he first started in the business, and he had a lot of time to kill, and he just talked to people. And I thought, well, he had a pretty good career without doing a ton of show prep. And I think that a show is only as good as the listeners and the callers. And it's not necessarily the host that makes the show good. But again, if you want to be on, you can just go to drlaugh.net and your little thing will pop up on if you're on your phone, you have to use Safari. If you're on an Apple phone, on Android, I think it'll work with anything. I don't really know because there's no Safari on Android, which is weird. And I want to talk about that for a minute too. The Apple Android war. There's the civil war. That might be the one to be more scared of, is the Apple Android, because I now have one of each for a work situation. And yeah, I don't know how anybody uses Android, but maybe Android people say, I don't know how anybody uses Apple. I mean, those might be fighting words right there. Just the build quality of the phone. It's a Samsung 22S, which I think is a good phone. It's supposed to be a good phone. Very cheap feeling phone. And yes, their camera's supposedly better. And, you know, they have some features like you can put, I don't have it with me, but because it's a work phone and it's the weekend, but you can just touch the screen and it'll recognize your fingerprint. But it asked me to do the facial recognition. And when I did it, it goes, take your glasses off. So I took my glasses off and I went, bing. Okay, good. But now it doesn't recognize me with my glasses on, which I never understood. You know, I had my original phone. All right. So Adam says Android all the way. He's got an iPhone for work and he hates it. So you're the exact opposite of me. Janice is an Android girl. Put up your dukes. Here we go. Here's our civil war. It's Canada versus the United States. Same. No, that'll never happen. Yes. Good morning, Adam. Good to have you here. So they both have benefits. And I don't know if the Google phone, because Google has their own phone now, the Pixel, they've had it for a while. I don't know if they've combined the best of both worlds, because the facial recognition on my Android is nowhere near as good as it is on this. This thing is pretty amazing when it comes to opening and recognizing my face. And it even has the technology where it'll recognize you with a mask on, which I think is pretty amazing. But I have a joke in my act, which, by the way, is available on Amazon or YouTube if you want to check it out. Dan Rosenberg Exposed. But if you put on, like, I got the new phone and I didn't have glasses when I first got the phone. I was just wearing reading glasses all the time. And then when I got the glasses, I thought, oh, I'm going to have to redo it. And I looked at my phone and it opened. I'm like, oh my God, what if Superman, left his phone somewhere and Clark Kent picked it up and then it opened up? Everybody would be like, hey, how did you open Superman's phone? And then the gig would be up. They would all know. So that's what I just don't understand, is why the facial recognition on the Android is not as good. Maybe the Google is better, but the company I work for, they said, hey, you have your choice. You get an iPhone 13, you can get a Samsung 22. I thought, well, after 22 Samsungs, they probably, it's almost double the number of iPhones. So maybe they've got it right. And I also wanted to see just what it was like. My car runs on Android, so I thought maybe it would be better with my car. No, it's no different. And I did get T-Mobile versus Verizon. So that way, on the island I live on here on Bainbridge Island, I think I have coverage no matter where I go now. One of the phones is going to have coverage. That's kind of cool, because Verizon, I've been with Verizon since 2002, 20 years. They didn't send me anything. Should have got something this year. Shouldn't I? 20-year anniversary with one phone carrier with the same phone number. For 20 years, I've had the same phone number. All right, let's see what Janice has to say here. Her husband has an iPhone. Maybe Android phones only recognize real handsome Brad Pitt types. Thanks, Janice. So I think you just ripped on me and your husband. I'm not sure. Dan says he's on a computer with no camera, too ugly anyway for broadcast. That's okay, Dan. We can only, what if one time I want to do a show, nothing but Dan's. you could only be on if you're a Dan. And then I realized there's a lot of Dan Rosenbergs out there. So what if I had a whole bunch of Dan Rosenbergs? Where's Jake this morning? That's what I want to know. Jake, are you watching? Jake always wants to come on and he never comes on. Now's his chance. So yeah, the wars are between the iPhone and Android, but there's still other brands. That's what's amazing. Like, what other? Does anybody have something other than an Android or an iPhone? I know they make. Let's see, phone operating systems. Let's see who has what. Android does have the #1 operating system. This is worldwide, though. 71.62. Now, of course, Android will have a bigger number than Apple always. It's kind of like PC versus Apple, because PC, the PC could be a compact. It could have been, remember the compact with the big Q? It could have been a Gateway. It could have been an IBM. A lot of them they were PCs and they ran Microsoft. And then Apple was only available on Apple. Although there was a brand for a little while. It's called Laser, where it was like it also ran Apple. But Apple typically never licensed themselves. So yeah, it's 71.62% Android, 27.73. That's kind of crazy. What about let's see, is this all platforms? I don't see any other. There's got to be others. Unknown 0.16, KA iOS, Kios 0.04, and Windows. You could still get a Windows phone 0.02. Yeah, I guess the Google one is obviously an Android because that's a Google product. So that's Android. Samsung is Android. LG makes phones. Motorola is still making phones, but I think they're all using the Android. Interesting. And Google does have their own phone, the Google Fi, and I was going to get one of theirs because I heard it works on all networks. So no matter where you are, it just finds the strongest network. Then I found out, no, it works with T-Mobile and Sprint. So wherever you are, you get T-Mobile or Sprint. But then, of course, T-Mobile bought Sprint. So so it's basically a T-Mobile phone. So really, we have 3 choices now. We have T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. All the others run off of one of those 3. There is no 4th brand. Nextel, remember Nextel with the walkie-talkie phones? Sprint bought them out. Do you have a Motorola flip phone that works, or do you just have one? Because I have a collection. I should have brought a bunch of phones today. That would have been a fun show. Welcome to Cell Phone Talk. Your wife is sold on Samsung. You got a Motorola, but I'm guessing they both run Android. The Gateway. Remember the Gateway computer, the 386? Oh, when they came out with the 386, it was then they had the Pentium. Remember the Pentium chip? It was unbelievable. The power that's in this phone is more than what was on the space shuttle, literally. And as I watch ads for phones, they talk about the camera, they talk about the speed, they talk about the internet processing and all the sites you can go to and all they don't talk about the phone. Nobody talks about, you have crystal clear calls on this phone. We've worked on this phone forever. Crystal clear. You don't hear about that. The services talk about that, but the phones never do. You have an Apple Laser 128? Really? I want to get like an old Commodore again. I had a Commodore 128 that was in a carrying case. It had like a 5-inch color screen. I also had a K Pro 5000 that my aunt gave me. That was an insane computer. That's probably worth a lot of more money now than it was when it came out. The foldable phones. Yeah. Like how do you fold glass? How is that possible? Well, their Apple Laser 128 still works. Very exciting. You can basically get email and play, was it not Minecraft? Minesweeper. Maybe some Tetris. Janice wants to. Where's the car guy Ray? Where is Ray? I guess I told him I'm not doing cars today, and he's like, "Yep, I'm not going to do it." And then she called Ray a floppy disk. How dare you, Jan? You worried about Civil War? You call people's floppy? Oh, you're talking about the computer has a floppy disk. You're talking about Ray. All right, everybody. Well, what do you guys want to talk about? I mean, it's viewers' choice. Again, this could be a half-hour show today. This could be an hour show. It could be an hour and 3 minutes. But those are kind of my topics for the day. Cell phones. We could still talk about cars if you want to, but prices are dropping dramatically. So I'll just put that out there. Gas is really weird right now. I guess gas isn't talking about cars, so we can talk about gas for a minute. At the tribal station, at least it was the other day, it went all the way down to $3.99. And one of them is a Texaco, which is also Chevron, which is the one that Safeway, the local grocery chain, has. You can get points and you can save up to $1. So in theory, you could go to the Texaco and get gas for $2.99. In theory, if you had enough points on your card. Oh, the navigate. Oh, I've got a lot of navigate. We'll talk navigation. I think you meant Navy, but you mean Navy. But yeah, so it's weird that gas there is $3.99 and gas here is $5.21. How can it be $1.22 difference? Like, it just doesn't make sense. The whole gas thing doesn't make sense. I just read today that there's only a 25-day supply of diesel right now. That's why diesel is going up. How is that possible? Like, what? Anyway, let's talk about a couple of things. First off, the rain is finally back. We had the worst air. My voice is still a little off. We had the worst air for quite a few days in the world, not just in the country, not just in the state, in the world. We had the worst air in the world. Adam, the tax rates are not different anymore. They changed that because they used to not charge sales tax, and now they do. And the tribal rates used to always be cheaper like that. And then lately, Safeway was cheaper in Paulsbo, Washington. 2 miles up the road, Safeway was $4.09 and the tribes were $4.59. And now it just flip-flopped. And that's what's like, wait, what happened here? Why did it flip-flop? Unless maybe there was a tax thing that changed. So you might have a point. Maybe October 1st, something went into effect that got rid of the sales tax at the tribes again. Maybe. Because it was always the cheaper place to go get gas. It was always worth it to leave the island to go get gas. But then for the longest time during this whole craziness, it was way up there. But anyway, good news. The rain is back. I'm guessing people start complaining about the rain sometime later this afternoon. They're like, enough with the rain already. Because that's what we do. We complain. The air quality when I went to bed on Thursday night was 182, which is very unhealthy. We had hit like 300 at one point, or 280 something. But it was 182 when I went to bed. Got up to feed the dogs like at 5:15. It was 12. That's how much it had dropped. So, and I know overnight it usually goes down a little bit anyway, but it was very healthy air at that point, which is a good thing, I think. Really, Janice? So Janice has a tribal card from Canada, but you can't use it here for gas discounts. Raffi had a thing happen. I wish he was here to tell the story, where he was at the casino here and waiting in line. And you know how Raffi looks. He's got, thick, dark hair and prominent features on his face. He's got a good schnoz, but not that natives have big schnozzes. But for some reason, somebody said, "Where were you born?" And he was born in Alaska. And when he said, "Oh, I was born in Alaska," they immediately assumed he must be native, and he was put to the front of the line right away. And I think he's an elder, maybe. Something happened. But yeah, that stinks that you have your status card and you can't use it. But the tax rates definitely were we used to go to dinner at the casino, and there was no sales tax on the dinner, and that was awesome. And they brought that back. But you're right. Maybe it changed. Maybe that was just a short-term sales tax on tribal land, Washington. Let's see. Let's see if it changed. No, it's still sales tax is still the same. Because used to be you could get alcohol cheaper, you could get but they said nope, we're gonna bring it back. Now, if you're native, you don't pay tax. But it used to be nobody paid. There's no sales tax on tribal land. So that happened. We're gonna talk about navigation in a minute, Janice. But Adams just said something very important. He's going down to New Orleans, his home state, his hometown. Do I bring back anything? Maybe some hot sauces. Maybe a selection of there was a hot sauce store. That's not easy to say. There was a hot sauce store near where I did my radio show on Bourbon Street. I can't remember the name of it, but they had just walls of hot sauces, and they would come out with novelty ones, and they had some crazy names, and some were extremely hot and some just tasted fantastic. I don't like the hot sauce that's super hot, but I like the hot sauce that gives you a little smack in the mouth and then you forget it happened. It's like an amnesia hot sauce. It's like, oh, that's hot. Oh, it's gone. You don't want it to like linger. But yeah, if you bring back a selection of hot sauces, then when we do that thing with the premiere thing, the screening thing we're going to do, that I'll talk about more later in December, then maybe you can bring it. There we go. Yes, the cigarettes taxes are different. Yeah, because there's cigarette and liquor tax. There's different tax on top of it. But with gas and sales tax, I believe, I could be wrong, that they did change the sales tax. That's why it was so much cheaper, is the sales tax. The gas tax, I think, were always collected because that's how they pay for the roads. And sales tax was the one other thing. But yes, hot sauce. Bring us a selection of hot sauce from New Orleans. That would be awesome. And maybe come on camera. You join the Eridan Film Festival while you're in New Orleans. Maybe go on Bourbon Street for us. It's a good time of the day. So it'll be 7:00 on a Monday when we're doing the film show. Now let's talk about Adam. Good question. Check your scorecard. Check your bingo card. Hot talk. These words today. Hot tax talk. Easy to say. Hot tax talk. Welcome back to Hot Tax Talk. This is your host, Skipper McGee, CPA. We're going to talk a little bit of tax today. You'll have the kids with you, but you'll try. You can't go to Bourbon Street with the kids at 7:00 at night. Good point. I mean, you can, but you wouldn't necessarily be a really good parent. I know a gal that got a letter from the IRS for buying cigarettes online from a tribal store. Yeah, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if that's probably a thing, buying online. They got to get their taxes. I still think a flat tax just across the board is the right way to go. That's just me, not talking politics, talking tax law. Although I think the 999 plan that Herman Cain, may he rest in peace, that Herman Cain had was a little bit, I don't know. It sounded a little German. 999. Just do 10, 10, 10. Then it sounds like, remember the long distance, 10, 10, 3, 2, 1? And then it was 10, 10, 10, 10 or something. You could call these numbers before you dial the number, and you'd save on long distance rates. Remember long distance rates? That doesn't really exist anymore. Back to Janice. Who hates the voice of the navigation system in their car? You're right. Absolutely. I used to have a big joke about this. What was the one? It was like if you miss something, it would go recalculating, and they make a noise like bang, recalculating. I'm surprised you said you missed your turn, moron. You probably could program them. I know that Waze, WAZE, is a great app for navigation, and they did have some where different celebrities would be the voice of it, so you could get different people telling you where to go. But the joke I had was, and she was arrogant because she would say things like, in 300 feet, turn left, then turn right, then go straight. Like, giving you the go ahead. And my joke was, I wish I could get like a male voice. So at least that way, when I'm traveling with my wife, I don't have two women in the car telling me how to drive. I don't have the rim shot like Eric has on this system. Yes, she's very uppity. Now, on some things you can change, like if you're using your iPhone for Siri, there's like 6 different voices for Siri now. And I had a British guy for a while, and I changed my name, which is funny. I changed my name on my phone to Aluminum because I wanted it to say aluminium, and it didn't, because aluminium is spelled different or differently. It's different spelling. Shut up! I hate you. That's why she's talking to you that way. Try being nice to her and see what she does. Or use your Android phone and see if you can change the voice on that for your navigation. Instead of using your car's navigation, Waze is owned by Google, so it probably works great on Android. I haven't tried it yet on Android. I know it works great that does work great in my car with Apple CarPlay, which is weird that I have an Android-based automotive system in my car, but now it has Apple CarPlay. So that's exciting. My coffee's not hot anymore. I think that's when the show should end, when the coffee gets cold. All right. So what have we talked about today? We've got lots of holidays today. Christopher Lloyd's birthday, Jeff Goldblum's birthday, Curly Howard's birthday, a bunch of influencers and YouTubers I've never heard of's birthday. It's International Nut Day. So whatever type of nut you like, whether it's a peanut, a hazelnut, cashew, sometimes not referred to as a nut, but it's usually in the mixed nuts. So is it a nut? It's Caps Locks Day, International Caps Locks Day. Gas prices still suck unless you're on the tribe in the Suquamish area, because $3.99 is like cheap. And I know we weren't going to go political, but there was a bill, an oil and gas price gouging law that was voted on in the House, and every single Republican voted against it. Now, the Democrats had 2 Democrats voted against it, surprisingly, in the House, but still it passed. But every single Republican voted against a bill that's called the Oil and Gas Price Gouging Act. If that doesn't tell you what's really happening, nothing else does. Peanut is not a nut. Is it a legume? Is it technically a bean? I think it would be a bean, right? Because it's in a pod. That's weird that a peanut wouldn't be a nut. Pecan? What's the right? How do you pronounce that one? Pecan or pecan? CB's nuts, not CD's nuts. That's a whole other thing. CB nuts. I wonder if they're doing a thing today. Maybe for today, give your dog peanut butter. See there, we have 2 days put together in one. Make a dog's day and International Nut Day, and then send a text about it and yell to everybody in all caps. And that's the way you wrap up your day. Janice says it is pecan. Now, don't Amazon drivers have a pecan in there? I guess it's a pea bottle that they use, not a pecan. I was going to play background music during the whole show. I forgot to do that too, because that's a feature on here where we can have. We got this going. Wait, sounds like a real morning show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Bright and early. How's the traffic out there? We're going to have the traffic copter. Later on, this is what the guys look like, by the way. You don't see them, but they go up and down like this all the time. They get their voices. That's why you see them not on radio. You just hear it. Pecan pie is the best. Pecan pie. See, pecan pie does sound right. Yeah, pecan. Pecan! Women drivers for Amazon, they would have a pecan. You're right, instead of a pea bottle. It'd be like a coffee can. They have to put into the seat or something. I don't know how that would work. Adam is told he has a voice for radio. That is true. Adam does have a definite deep voice. He's down here. He should do radio. So you can even be on the show when you do that. If you come on to our shows, you can have an audio avatar instead of your camera on, and then you could be on the show with audio only if you want. That's the other thing we could do that we haven't really explained. That people can be on audio only. Maybe we'll have to explain that a little better in the next one. What else did we talk about today? Civil War probably won't happen. I wouldn't be worried about it because the North versus the South was a different thing because you had actual states and territories and areas that bound together as one, the Confederacy and the Union. You're not going to get, you've got red states right beside blue states, and you've got blue cities inside red cities. Almost every major metropolitan city is a blue city. It's where more people are. I'll just leave it at that. And that's what happens. Oh, now Isabel comes in. We're about to end the show. Isabel shows up. Good morning. Adam will get his hair. Are you going to get the beard trimmed? That's the question, Adam. Will it ever happen? Yes, good morning, good morning. So I think we'll go for a few more minutes. Oh boy, yeah, Idaho. That might be the exception to the rule. Boise, Idaho. Although that's not a major metropolitan area. Although there are a lot of people moving to Idaho that are more from the blue side. I don't know why it's blue and red. It didn't used to be. The left and the right. Here's the biggest problem. So we have some comments going between comments now. Better late than never. That's true. And some of us do work, That's true. Some of us do. No one touches the beard except for Adam. All right. The trailer for the sitcom will be out soon. You had to be at the live show to see it. It's the only time it's played in front of an audience was at the live show. I've lost my train of thought. Let's go back through here. Yep. That's how, you know what? When I lose the train of thought, I think that's where it goes. I thought Ray would be here today. Ray always has some interesting conversations about things other than cars. Oh, I know. Yes, parts of Idaho you work definitely red. You can tell. Yes, you can tell. If you leave any major metropolitan area, you're going to hit the red area. And red, we really should have 6 parties in this country, kind of like Canada does and England. We should have the far right. We should have the far left. So you've got the extreme radical right, the extreme radical left. Okay, that's 10% on either side. Now the 80% in the middle, you've got your Republicans that are traditional, they say they're for fiscal conservatism and they don't conserve anything. And then you've got the left, the Democrats, who are for social justice, but they also quit immediately if there's a scandal, whereas the right won't quit. And then you've got people in the middle. You've got the moderate left, the moderate right, and the centrists, and you probably have 6 parties, maybe 7 in this country. And the problem is now we've got 2, and they're both getting influenced by the fringes on the crazy right and the crazy left. And yes, there's crazies on both sides there. Although there's ammo in convenience stores. Wow. That is crazy. You can buy ammo in a convenience store. We like cars. I'm not sure where that came from, but yes, we do like cars. And Raffi hopefully will be back next week. If he's not, put in the comments. If you're watching this later, And we do get a lot of people, I found out. We have a lot because the views go way up during the week. A lot of people watch the Clutch Radio and the Eridan Film Festival after the fact. They don't watch it live. And that's okay. You can watch us whenever. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch. And you can watch us any of those places other than Twitch. I don't think Twitch does re-airing ever, I'm pretty sure. I think it's live and that's it. Or I could be wrong. I don't really know. I don't understand the Twitch yet. My brain can only hold so many streaming services, and Twitch isn't really a streaming service. But you know what I mean. Did the music stop? Oh, there it is. Whew. Thank God. But people do watch us later. So if you're watching this after the fact, if it's not 10:43 a.m. on Saturday, October 22nd, Pacific time, then say, hey, here's what I want you to talk about next week. If Raffi's not here, do this again, or play an old show, or do nothing. Maybe you need this hour back in Saturday morning. I don't know. My Halloween plan, I don't have one this year. It's Monday night, the 31st. Normally we have the Eridan Film Festival that night, but a lot of people will have trick-or-treaters coming to their door. I don't have that happen here. And probably because I was going to make some stupid joke that I scared the kids away, but really nobody comes to where we live. If you don't live in one of the housing development things where houses are side by side, and kids can just walk the streets and go to every house and get their candy, they're not going to come to my place to get candy. But we could do costumes. We could do a costume show. I think we did that either last year or the year before. We did a costume show for the Eridan. It might not have been the film festival. It might have been when we were just doing the Eridan social hour or one of the other shows we were doing. So the film festival is not probably going to be on Monday the 31st. We'll probably do a different night. We might do Tuesday the 1st or Sunday the 30th. We'll have to discuss. I can't tell you this with the sitcom, even though I'm not going to play a trailer or anything. We're filming some stuff tomorrow, and we're filming some stuff November 19th in California, and then hopefully we'll have a whole edited screening that we will do here on Bainbridge in December. Trying to find the right date. It might be an afternoon show, which means we'll probably do it on a Sunday instead of middle of the week like I was planning on it. We'll find out. All right. I think I'm going to end the show there. I think this was a fun show. If you put in the comments, if you're watching this later on, put in the comments that, hey, this is fun. We can do this again, or don't ever do this again, or get Raffi back. Raffi will see the comments, and we miss Raffi, but when he's busy, he teaches. See, this is the thing with Raffi. I don't know if we talked about it. He's a college professor every fall in the San Francisco area, and he was on sabbatical last year, and then COVID happened the previous year, so he was working from home. So he was available. He was here every Saturday. We didn't miss a Saturday, I don't think, ever for a while. And yeah, thanks, Chris. We need Raffi. Well, this isn't for Clutch Radio. You're right. We do need Raffi for Clutch Radio, because that's why I didn't do Clutch Radio today. So when Raffi's not here, it will not be Clutch Radio. When Raffi is here, it will be Clutch Radio. We'll be here every Saturday morning that we possibly can be, and that is it. So have a good day, which is Haggard. Have a good day. Thank you, Janice. Have a good day, and I don't have a closing for this show, so I'll replay the opening because most of you weren't here when I played it. This is my opening from 12 years ago, from the show I was doing out of my upstairs bedroom with my good friend John Hibbs, the late John Hibbs, who was John the barista. He'd come to my house every single, I should have figured it out, that was very unprofessional. Every single day, Monday through Friday, he would come to my house and we would do a live show from 6 to 8 a.m. And I'm trying to find the tapes because I know they're out there somewhere. And this was the show. This was the show opening that we always did. So I'll end this show with the opening from that show, which I opened this show with. It doesn't make sense. But see you next time. If you're watching this after the fact, please comment. Let us know what you think of it. And we'll decide how to proceed on Saturdays where there's no Raffi. That's all. All right, bye.
We pride ourselves on the high moral standards of our program.
And now,
I mean that sincerely.
broadcasting live from Seattle.
We don't resort to sex or crime or violence or drinking.
Quiet! I can't hear myself lie!
It's the Dan Rosenberg Show.